If you're a man over 60 who's ever felt dizzy after stepping out of the shower at night, or if you've noticed your heart racing during your evening bath, what I'm about to reveal could literally save your life. There's a hidden danger lurking in what most people consider the most harmless part of their daily routine, and it's happening right now in millions of American bathrooms every single night. This silent threat isn't related to slipping or falling. It's far more insidious. It's a mistake that's sending tens of thousands of men to the emergency room each year with strokes, and the truth is, most doctors never warn their patients about it. The worst part? You've probably done it tonight without even realizing the danger you just put yourself in, and the truth behind this will shock you. I'm Dr. Claire Foster, a urologist specializing in men's health with over 15 years of experience helping thousands of patients navigate the unique cardiovascular challenges that men face as they age. Throughout my career, I've witnessed firsthand how seemingly innocent daily habits can trigger catastrophic health events, especially in men over 50. What sets my approach apart is that I focus on the connections that conventional medicine often ignores, the subtle, everyday behaviors that create the perfect storm for stroke and heart attack. Today, I'm going to pull back the curtain on one of the most overlooked dangers in men's health, and by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly how to protect yourself. Now, before we dive deeper, I need you to understand just how serious this is. Every year in the United States, nearly 800,000 people suffer a stroke, and a significant percentage of these happen during the nighttime hours, catching victims completely off guard while they sleep or during their evening routine. What most people don't realize is that your evening shower or bath isn't just a routine for getting clean. It's actually one of the most physiologically demanding activities your cardiovascular system faces all day. When you ignore the proper way to bathe, especially at night, you're essentially playing Russian roulette with your arteries. The consequences aren't just about having a stroke. We're talking about permanent disability, loss of independence, the inability to recognize your own family members, losing control of basic bodily functions, and spending your final years dependent on others for everything from eating to using the bathroom. This isn't the normal aging that doctors might brush off. This is a preventable disaster that's about to unfold if you don't take action. But here's the good news. Once you understand what's happening inside your body during these critical moments, you have the power to protect yourself. The science is clear and the solution is surprisingly simple. As we get ready for the big reveal, tell me in the comments which city you're watching from. I love to see how far our health community reaches. Now, let me reveal the 3 deadly bathing mistakes that are silently setting up men over 50 for nighttime strokes. These aren't just theories, they're backed by cardiovascular research and emergency room data from around the world. The first mistake on our list is something that happens in millions of American homes every single evening, and it's especially dangerous because most men actually believe they're doing something healthy. I'm talking about the sudden plunge into a hot shower after being in a cool or air-conditioned environment. This is where thermal shock begins its deadly work. Think about your typical evening. You've been sitting in your air-conditioned living room, your body temperature is regulated and comfortable, your blood vessels are in a normal state. Then you walk into the bathroom and immediately turn on a hot shower. We're talking 105 to 110 degrees Fahrenheit, the kind that feels amazing on tired muscles. But here's where things get interesting. Let me tell you about Robert, a 67-year-old retired engineer from Ohio, who came to my practice after a frightening incident. "Doc," he told me, "I've been taking hot showers my whole life. I never thought twice about it. Then one night last winter, I stepped into my usual hot shower, and within seconds, my vision got blurry, my heart started pounding like crazy, and I had to grab the wall to keep from falling." Robert was skeptical when I first explained that his shower routine was the problem. Like many men, he thought stroke risk was about cholesterol and exercise, not about how you bathe. But after he made the changes I recommended, which I'll share with you shortly, he never experienced those symptoms again. 6 months later, he told me, "I used to think this was all overblown, but now I realize I was one hot shower away from a stroke. My wife thanks you. My kids thank you, and I thank you. So, what's actually happening inside your body during this thermal shock? Think of it like this: your blood vessels are like highways for your blood. When you're in a normal temperature environment, these highways are running smoothly. But when you suddenly expose your body to hot water, especially if there's a big temperature difference, your body goes into emergency mode. The hot water hitting your skin sends alarm signals to your brain. Your blood vessels suddenly dilate. They open up wide to release heat. This causes your blood pressure to drop rapidly. But here's the catch. Your heart doesn't know that this drop is happening because of external heat. It only knows that pressure is falling, so it starts pumping harder and faster to compensate. Meanwhile, the blood that was supposed to be flowing to your brain gets redirected to your skin to help cool you down. This is basically the perfect storm for stroke. Your brain isn't getting enough oxygen-rich blood, your blood pressure is fluctuating wildly, and your heart is working overtime. For men over 50, whose blood vessels are already less flexible due to age, this can trigger what doctors call a cerebrovascular event, a stroke. Here's your practical action protocol for this first mistake. Never jump directly into a hot shower. Instead, start with lukewarm water, around body temperature, about 98 degrees. Spend 30 to 60 seconds letting your body adjust. Then gradually increase the temperature. This gives your cardiovascular system time to adapt without triggering that dangerous shock response. Think of it like warming up before exercise. You wouldn't sprint at full speed without stretching first, right? The same principle applies to bathing. Your blood vessels need time to adjust. And if you found that revealing, wait until you hear about our second mistake, as it affects the body in an even quieter way, and it's particularly deadly because it happens after you think the danger has passed. The second deadly bathing mistake is what I call the exit shock. And this one catches men completely off guard because it happens when you're stepping out of the shower or bath, feeling relaxed and clean, thinking everything's fine. But what most people don't know is that this transition moment is actually more dangerous than getting in. Here's why. When you've been soaking in hot water or standing under a hot shower for several minutes, your body has adapted to that environment. Your blood vessels have dilated, your blood pressure has dropped, and your body has reached a new equilibrium. But the moment you step out into the cooler bathroom air, and it doesn't have to be freezing, just cooler than the water you were in, your body experiences another sudden shift. Charles was a 62-year-old insurance adjuster from Texas who learned this lesson the hard way. I loved my long, hot evening showers, he told me during our consultation. I'd spend 15, sometimes 20 minutes just letting the hot water work on my sore shoulders. One evening, I stepped out of the shower feeling great, and boom, the room started spinning. My chest felt tight, and I couldn't catch my breath. My wife found me sitting on the bathroom floor, pale as a ghost. When Charles first came to see me, he was convinced he'd had a heart attack. The emergency room doctors had ruled that out, but they couldn't explain what happened. He was skeptical when I asked about his bathing routine. "You're telling me a shower almost killed me?" he asked incredulously. But after I explained the mechanism and he changed his habits, he never had another episode. 3 months later, he said, "I tell all my buddies about this now. None of them had any idea. I probably saved 3 or 4 guys from going through what I went through." What's happening during exit shock is this. Imagine your blood vessels as elastic bands. When they've been stretched out by heat for several minutes, they're in a relaxed, expanded state. The instant you hit cooler air, those elastic bands snap back. They constrict rapidly. This sudden vasoconstriction causes your blood pressure to spike dramatically. It's basically the opposite of what happened when you got in, but it's equally dangerous. Your heart, which was working hard to pump blood through those dilated vessels, suddenly faces much higher resistance. It's like trying to push water through a garden hose and someone suddenly steps on the hose. The pressure builds up instantly. For men with any degree of arterial stiffness, which is virtually everyone over 55, this pressure spike can rupture small vessels in the brain or cause a blood clot to dislodge. Additionally, the sudden vasoconstriction reduces blood flow to the brain right when your blood pressure is spiking. This combination is what researchers call the thermal shock response, and it's responsible for thousands of stroke and heart attack cases every year. Your practical application protocol for avoiding exit shock is this. Before stepping out of the shower or bath, gradually reduce the water temperature for the last 30 to 60 seconds of your bathing session. Bring it down to lukewarm, then to slightly cool. This tells your body to start the adjustment process while you're still in the water, not in the open air. Additionally, make sure your bathroom is warm before you bathe. Don't rely on the hot water steam to heat the room. Use a heater if necessary. The goal is to minimize the temperature difference between the water and the air. Finally, when you do step out, dry yourself quickly and put on a robe immediately. Don't stand there wet and naked, letting the evaporation cool your skin rapidly. Every degree of temperature difference matters, but there's still one more critical mistake, and this one is all about timing. The danger multiplies exponentially when you make this error. The third and perhaps most dangerous bathing mistake is taking your shower or bath late at night, particularly after 10 p.m. Now, I know what you're thinking. I've showered at night my whole life. How could the time of day matter? But the science on this is absolutely clear, and it all comes down to what's called your circadian cardiovascular rhythm. Let me introduce you to William, a 58-year-old warehouse manager from Michigan. I worked late shifts my whole career, William told me. I'd come home around 11 p.m., have dinner, then take a nice hot shower before bed around midnight. Did this for 30 years without a problem. Then, one winter night, William took his usual late-night hot shower. Within an hour of going to bed, he woke up with the left side of his body completely numb. His wife called 911 immediately. He'd suffered an ischemic stroke. Fortunately, he got to the hospital in time for treatment, but the damage was done. He lost partial function in his left hand permanently. When I reviewed his case history, the pattern was obvious. William was skeptical that his shower timing could have played such a crucial role. Aren't strokes just random, he asked? But after I showed him the research on nighttime bathing and cardiovascular events, he understood. Now, 2 years later, William showers no later than 8 p.m. and has had no further incidents. I wish someone had told me this 30 years ago, he said recently. I'd still have full use of my hand, but at least I can warn others now. What worries you most today? Type 1 in the comments if it's your own bathing habits, or 2 if it's the habits of a loved one. Your answer helps me create future content. Here's the science behind why nighttime bathing is so risky. Your cardiovascular system follows a 24-hour cycle. During the day, your blood pressure is naturally higher, your heart rate is more variable, and your body is prepared for activity and stress. But as evening approaches, your body begins its wind-down process. Your blood pressure naturally drops, your heart rate slows, and your blood becomes slightly more viscous, thicker, to prepare for the long period of immobility during sleep. This is all perfectly normal and healthy, but when you introduce a thermal shock into this already vulnerable state, you're asking for trouble. The rapid blood pressure fluctuations caused by hot water hit a cardiovascular system that's already in its rest mode. Think of it like this. During the day, your blood vessels are like a busy highway system, ready to handle sudden changes in traffic. At night, they're like rural roads with the lights dimmed. A sudden influx of stress catches them completely unprepared. Research from Japan, where hot bathing is a cultural tradition, has shown that the stroke rate increases significantly among people who bathe late at night, particularly during winter months when the temperature difference is greatest. In fact, when the external temperature drops by just 5 degrees Celsius, about 9 degrees Fahrenheit, the rate of hospital admissions for stroke increases by over 7%. Late-night bathing amplifies this risk exponentially. Your practical protocol for timing is straightforward. Finish all bathing at least 2 to 3 hours before you plan to go to bed. Ideally, this means no showers or baths after 8 or 9 p.m. if you're going to bed around 11 p.m. This gives your cardiovascular system time to stabilize after the thermal stress. Your blood pressure will have time to return to normal, your heart rate will settle, and your body can properly transition into its nighttime rest mode. If you absolutely must bathe later due to work schedules or other circumstances, follow the gradual temperature protocols I outlined earlier with even more diligence, and make sure your bathroom is well heated. Additionally, consider the season and outside temperature. During winter months, the risk is higher, so be extra cautious. If you've recently shoveled snow, been out in the cold, or engaged in any physical activity, wait at least 30 to 60 minutes before bathing to allow your body temperature to normalize first. So, to recap, the three silent villains that are putting men at risk for nighttime stroke are: number one, the sudden plunge into hot water without gradual temperature adjustment, creating initial thermal shock. Number two, the exit shock when stepping out of hot water into cooler air, causing rapid vasoconstriction and blood pressure spikes. And number three, bathing late at night when your cardiovascular system is already in its vulnerable rest mode, amplifying all the risks. The good news is that every single one of these dangers is completely preventable. You don't have to give up showering or bathing. You just need to be smart about how and when you do it. Consistency is key. Make these adjustments part of your permanent routine, and you'll dramatically reduce your stroke risk. Your body hasn't forgotten how to be healthy. It just needs your command, your attention, and your respect for the cardiovascular stress that sudden temperature changes create. Every day, men across America are making these simple adjustments and protecting themselves from preventable strokes. You have the knowledge now. The only question is whether you'll use it. Remember, it's not about fear. It's about empowerment. It's about taking control of your health in a way that's practical, effective, and sustainable. You've spent decades building your life, your career, your relationships. Don't let a simple bathing mistake steal your independence and vitality. If this information was valuable to you, please hit the like button so YouTube will show it to more men who need it. And don't forget to leave a comment. I personally read as many as I can. Share this video with a friend or family member who you know will benefit. And of course, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any health guides. And one last thing, a personal request. I recorded this video wearing a mask. It was really important for me to know if the sound quality was good and if you could understand me perfectly. Please leave a quick comment about it. Your feedback is crucial for me to keep improving. A big hug, and I'll see you in the next video.